fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. For your latest news in high school sports, tune in to the fish report. Don't need no bed, don't need no pole when you tune in to the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. You got Craig and TK and Head that deep, tune in at the fish report.
Coming to you live from Studio F in Russia, Ohio. It's the Fish Report Live Show with your hosts, Craig Fissinger and Ken Francis.
Tune in to the fish report.
Welcome, folks, to another Fish Report Live. I'm Craig Fissinger. That is Ken Francis. Back in our sound room, you know who's back there. It's TK and Heavy D. We'll be joining those two guys here in just a little bit. And Ken, you know, last week on this show, we talked some postseason golf, and we're going to touch on that a little bit again tonight. But, you know, for the sports out there that haven't started a tournament yet, you kind of get to that point of the season where maybe you're not in a conference race for some schools, or you're just ready for the postseason. And we've kind of gotten to that point with volleyball and cross country right now, haven't we?
Yes, we have, Craig. You know, you get, like you said, you get to that point in the season when you just kind of like, okay, when's the postseason going to start? Well, it all kind of starts this weekend, Craig, with the volleyball tournament draw. And, you know, looking forward to that, Division II or Division III and Division IV, especially around here, Craig. As far as the local teams go, I can imagine in that Division IV draw, Craig, you're going to have the Jackson Center Lady Tigers, #1 in Ohio, defending state champion. They're going to go on the board, Craig, wherever they want to go, and everybody else is going to go the other direction. Yeah. So it'll be interesting, Craig, to see what happens, as well as in Division III to see what the Anna Rockets do and the Versailles Tigers and some of them other local teams.
Well, we're going to be talking a lot of volleyball and some cross country tonight too, aren't we?
Yes, we are, Craig. Really looking forward to interview tonight with the head coach of the Anna Lady Rockets, Kelly Zumberger. She's in her 5th year as head coach of the Rockets, and she's been very successful over there with that program, Craig. And also, Craig, looking forward to talking some boys cross country as you go over and talk to a couple of the Russia's finest runners. And you actually even had a workout with them, the way it looks, Craig. And really looking forward to watching that video as well as hearing what the Raiders have to say about their upcoming postseason in cross country.
Yeah, I'm still a little sore, still recuperating from that workout.
Oh, yeah?
We're going to see that a little bit later in the show.
But probably worked them over, didn't you?
I tried to, but we're going to see that, like I said, later in the show. Before we get to that, though, Ken, just like we do here every week, we have a weekly poll question, and tonight's poll question has to do with volleyball.
Yes, it does, Craig. And the Shelby County Athletic League, Craig, loaded with great teams as well as great individual talent. And to our listeners out there, Craig, who is your Shelby County Athletic League volleyball player of the year? Is it Jackson Center star Cassie Meyer, Fort Loramie star Kaylee Barhorse, Audrey Francis from Fairlawn, or Krista Garrett from the Anna Lady Rockets? You listeners out there, cast your vote for your Shelby County League Player of the Year, and we'll show you the results at the end of the show.
Yeah, 4 very good players, and I take any 4 of those on my team.
That's for sure.
All right, Ken, well, speaking of the SCAL, it's starting to wrap up. Actually gets done, I believe, next week. They officially wrap that up. Let's take a look at our standings and see where we're at heading into the last week of the season.
Well, like we said, Craig, Jackson Center 10-0 in the league, 20-0 overall. Fort Loramie Redskins having another good year, Craig. They're sitting at 8-2. The Anna Lady Rockets, of course, we're going to be talking to their head coach, Kelly Zumberger, here in just a few minutes at 6-4. Fairlawn and Russia in the middle of the pack there at 5-5, and Botkins and Houston as well. So, Craig, you know, it's been a competitive league again this year in volleyball, some great talent. But as expected when the season started, the Jackson Center Lady Tigers are on top.
Yeah, they don't quite have it wrapped up yet, and they have a big match on Thursday against Fort Loramie, so I expect that one to be a tough one, but Jackson actually ends their season against the 0-11 Houston Wildcats. So, you know, I think it's going to come here, whether it comes Thursday night or their next game. Jackson's going to get another county championship.
I believe so.
And, of course, you mentioned those Anna Rockets, led by their head coach, Kelly Zumberger. We're happy to have her live on the phone right now. Coach, welcome to Fish Report Live, and thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, listen, good to have you on the show. Good to just catch you here for a day because I know you've been playing a lot of volleyball lately. Starting last Thursday, we got a chance to watch you over at Russia, and since then, I think you've had 3 matches. So, and I believe you have one coming up Thursday as well. So glad we could get a little bit of your time. Coach, I want to go back to that Russia game last Thursday. Start out there, and I want to mention that because you beat our Raiders for 3-1 in that game, but also that third set, Coach, something I've never seen before. Most volleyball games go to 25, a score of 25. Your set there with Russia went to 35-33. Have you ever seen? I've been wanting to ask you this. Have you ever seen a game quite so crazy?
No. I can say that I've been, with games that have been that crazy, but never 35-33, and that's just, two competitive teams there, just battling it out, and it was very fun to be a part of, and obviously it turned out to be in our favor, but Russia was, handling it to us, and it was just point for point there for a while.
Well, like I said, since then you've actually had 3 other games and quite a brutal schedule. I'm looking here, and looks like on Saturday you hosted the always tough Lehman Lady Cavaliers. On Monday you traveled to D2 Wapak, and then on Tuesday night you battled with the number 5 state-ranked Marion Local Flyers. Coach, what have you learned about your team after that tough little stretch there?
Definitely could tell that our girls are, we can definitely compete. Last night against Marion Local, we had some very close scores, and it comes, with being a young team and trying to bottle in that consistency. And, our past week we've been filled with match after match after match, and it tells me, though, and shows me that my girls physically can handle it. And it'll be kind of nice here. We'll play Balkans tomorrow and then have a few days off before we go and finish up our regular season against Fairlawn on Tuesday.
Coach, hi, this is Ken. Let's talk a little bit about the postseason. You've got, like you said, 2 regular season games left coming up, and then you're going to focus on the postseason. You've got the tournament draw coming up. What are your thoughts on that? Where do you see your Lady Rockets, maybe getting seeded, and who's the team to avoid in your sectional district play?
As far as our sectional goes, we always know, Versailles is always going to be a phenomenal team, as well as Miami East. Those are always kind of the top 2 teams that everyone kind of keeps an eye on. And I think for us, in order for us to be successful, it's that consistency. And I know we can bring it, like having some time off, I think, will help our girls just to kind of get their minds mentally ready for it. And I think, too, it always gives that extra push. And it's not just volleyball. You get in a tournament and your girls, hey, it's, it could be won or done easily. And that always seems to set a fire underneath them.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about some of the stars on your team. Of course, you're led by Krista Garrett. We spoke about her earlier in the show. She's one of our 4 finalists for the Shelby County League Athletic Player of the Year in volleyball. She's having a super year for your team. Tell us a little bit about Krista as well as some of the other girls on your team that have contributed to your success this season.
Yeah, Krista's such a dynamic player. She has a lot of different shots in her, hitting that line and hard cross, and she sees the court very well. And like you said, she definitely is our leader. There's no doubt about that. If it's go time, if it's crunch time, that's who I want to get the ball to in tough situations. And she handles that pressure very well. As far as the other players on our team that have really stepped up for this year, my libero, Carly Becker, especially the second part of the season here, she has been doing such a phenomenal job against some of the top hitters in our league, against like Cassie Meyer and Kaylee Barhorst, really taking control out there. And then I have 2 middles, Emma Meyer and Kennedy Glover. Both have really started to turn on here the second half of the season, like I said, especially the past four matches we've had, starting to become kind of what I call the X factor. When teams are starting to commit on Krista, those 2 are able to step up for us as far as offense goes.
Hey, Coach, listen, one more question before we let you go. Now, it wasn't too long ago that you starred for those Anna Rockets and then later went on to play at Ohio State and did very well there, if I must say. I actually was I kind of was stalking you here on the internet the other night and checked out an old bio of you at the on the Ohio State page. I believe it was your junior year back in 2010. And I read where it asked where you wanted to be in 10 years. And it said, living and teaching in Ohio and probably coaching volleyball. Well, it hasn't even been 10 years yet, and you already accomplished that goal. Are you happy?
I am very happy. I like to set goals. It's pretty obvious. I knew that I wanted to stay here in Ohio. Didn't think I'd come back to the area so soon because I fell in love with Columbus, but obviously it's a great area to, just grow up and raise kids eventually someday. But I absolutely love it. Coaching, I know I just couldn't give up playing, and coaching was my next step there, and that was a goal for me. And it's been a blessing ever since.
All right, Coach. Well, hey, listen, that's great stuff. We want to say thanks for joining us tonight on the show. Best of luck the rest of the regular season, the rest of the postseason, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. That was the head coach of the Anna Lady Rockets, Kelly Zumberger, and I kind of lost my partner here, so I'm hoping I'll get him back. So let's take a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk some cross country, and hopefully we'll have Ken back.
Stage at the Leaping Band. Music starts at 8 o'clock. You can find us here every Wednesday night. It's usually the same cats every week, but I can't tell you all their names. Teacher, cat, and a junkie, all waiting for time to play. Everybody here's got something that we're trying to leave behind. We're all a little broken, for a place to hide. Get no answers, don't ask any questions. We're all here just looking for a high. And we're all beautifully broken here tonight.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second half of Fish Report Live. Before the break, we were talking some volleyball, and I had my partner here, Ken, but he disappeared. So I'm going to go back to the sound room, check in with the guys. And guys, help me out here. I'm missing my my sidekick here. Any chance we'll get him back before the end of the show?
It's a good possibility. I'm not sure if it was a bio break or what he needed there.
I think it's a hurricane break.
Hurricane break,
As a
yeah.
matter of fact.
All right. Well, if we get him back here before the end of the show, we might have to get into that and see exactly what's going on here. But as Ken said at the top of the show, we're going to talk some cross country here. And I actually got a chance to train on Tuesday night with the Russia Boys cross country team. They're a team that's coming up and started out the season a little slow, but getting better as the season goes on. So I wanted to show them a little bit about what I knew, and hopefully something that could carry over to the postseason. So let's check out my workout with them and see how that went. Fish Report here at Russia School, and I'm with seniors here, Alex Sager and Ethan Monier, and we're here in the weight room right now. And both these guys have been running for the Russia Boys cross country program for the last 6 years, I guess. And we're going to see what they do for their workout today. Guys, actually, I've been kind of running really longer than you guys have, and kind of been an athlete since probably before you were born. So kind of hoping I can see what you do today and maybe give you guys, who knows, maybe a few tips on how you can be successful heading into the postseason here in a couple weeks. So let's get started, okay? All right, guys, so we're going to get started here, I guess, on the weight bench.
Yep.
All right, and I know as runners, you guys don't really use your arms a whole lot, so I assume we're just going to lift the bar today. I mean, runners, it's not like you're throwing anything or not, so it's not like you need a whole lot of arm strength in your arms, is it?
Oh, well, actually it helps build endurance and it doesn't do too bad with the ladies either.
So we are going to be lifting some weights.
Yeah.
Okay, like, what do we got here?
155.
155. Okay. All right. Yeah, sure. That's no problem. Why don't you show me how it's done?
Get on there.
Well, you show me how it's done first, and then I'll jump on after you. No, just a second here. You're going to just lift this one time, all right? Is that all you do? Just one rep?
10 reps.
10.
3 sets.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Well, let's get on the bench. I'll show you guys what I can do. I used to lift a lot more than that actually when I was younger. So, and I still do. I didn't know I was going to lift the weight. So, but all right. So you're in the spot here, right, Ethan?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Here we go. Woo. All right. Oh, okay. I think I got a cramp. Oh, man, I think I had a bad grip on there. Actually, my one hand wasn't right there. So let's be done with that. Let's move on to something else, okay? All right, guys. So now I see you got me outside here. Ethan, what do we got next?
We're gonna run 400.
400. So out at the track, right?
No, this is cross country. We're gonna go up that hill and see what you can do.
Okay, so up the hill, and where do we go after the hill?
Just follow the course, pretty much go around by the basketball course and finish right here.
Okay. Well, I want to know since you guys I'll be leading, so I want you guys to. I got to know where I'm running at. So, all right. I got to get my. I got a headband here. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Usain Bolt, but I kind of get compared to him sometimes. So, I'm gonna get my Usain Bolt headband on, and all right. Well, let's get going. Oh, I tell you what, guys, I probably should have stretched a little bit more. Usually I'm faster than that, but probably should have stretched a little bit more. But that's all right. That's all right. Guys, well, good run today, and I know after a hard day of hard workout like that, sometimes you like to reward yourself with a little Snickers bar. Sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, actually, you should probably have maybe a banana or some chocolate milk to finish that off.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's I know that's what I usually do that, but I just thought, well, you know what, guys, thanks for coming out today. It's been a lot of fun, and like I said, hopefully you learned a few things from me that you guys can take with you here and into the postseason in a couple weeks.
All right, thank you.
What happened there?
I had a lot of excuses, didn't I?
You did, but I believe you. I mean, I think if you'd have stretched a little more, and I seen you cramping there where you were lifting the weights, so that happens. That happens.
Speaking of excuses, we missed you there for a few minutes. I understand that you had some issues. People, I've seen on the news, people are trying to get into Florida, out of Florida,
yeah.
And you're telling me you're trying to schedule a trip into Florida right now.
That's right. I'm trying to get into Florida. Believe it or not, I'm one of the few people in America trying to get into Florida, and but I think we got it worked out. We were flying into Orlando. Now we're going to fly into Tampa. Stay on that west coast over there, Florida. We should be fine. I think winds over there are only going to be hitting, the they'll be under 100 mile an hour, so we should be all right.
Yeah,
Over there on the West Coast, we'll be all right.
Hurricane Matthews coming in there, Ken, and you're going over there to watch a football game, aren't
Yep,
you?
we've had it planned for over a year, Craig. We got tickets. We're going to the Florida LSU football game on Saturday, and hopefully the game still gets played, and we'll go from there. So, yep, we're trying to get into Florida.
All right, well, let's get back to some cross country. As we just saw there, I worked out with the Russia cross country team. And Ken, I know you and we talk about state pools a lot on this show. And I think we can both agree that typically in those state pools, we think about usually the top 4 or 5 teams are legit. After that, I don't know if you call it garbage, but I don't exactly understand the logic to those some of those teams in the state pools each week.
Well, I got to agree with that, Craig. And, like you said, the top 2, 3, 4 teams are typically pretty much legit, but it's so hard to base these teams off of times, Craig. You got teams running hilly courses up in northeast Ohio and in southern Ohio. You've got teams running flat courses. You've got teams running short courses and teams running long courses. Sometimes it's muddy, sometimes it's dry. It's impossible. Every course is totally different. It's not like they're all running a 1,600 meter on a flat track or what have you. So you got to know a lot about cross country. We feel like we do, and actually we've come up with our own regional poll, Craig, which you're going to tell us about.
Yeah, let's take a look at it here, Ken. Me and you have picked, of course, we paid attention to the Southwest region, and we picked our top 5 teams on the boys and girls side in the Southwest region. Of course, the top 4 teams will eventually go to state. But let's take a look at that poll that we've developed, and I'll go through the boys if you want to go through the girls. And we start out there with the boys. Right on top is the Fort Laramie Redskins, Ken, and they've got they're pretty loaded this year. They've actually got what could be considered maybe 3 of the best runners, top 3 runners in the state, with Jake Raithman and the Ballas brothers, Tom and Joe there. And then you got in second place, I've got Anna. They have a very good top runner in Lucas Huber over there. And their top 5 split, when I say they're split, I mean the time between their first run and their number 5 runner is just a little over a minute right now. So they're doing very well. Number 3, Summit Country Day. Speaking of splits, their 1 through 6 split is only about 50 seconds with their number 1 runner running a low 17 right now, Ken. And then you got the Houston Wildcats there in 4th place, which is a good spot to be in when you're in the region, because like I said, the top 4 make it to state. They're very similar to Summit Country Day. Their 5th is not as good. Their 5th runner is not as good as Summit Country Days, but they're right in there too. And then number 5 I got is Xenia Christian, and up front they're probably as good as anyone in the state. Probably up there with Fort Laramie, maybe not quite as good. Their 5th runner right now, Ken's kind of killing them, running a 19, which is not where you want to be when you're at the regionals. But you know how it works in the regionals, Ken. A lot of times, all of a sudden, a kid that's been playing soccer all year might all of a sudden become a runner, and we've seen that happen before. So we'll wait and see what happens at Xenia Christian. And then I want to mention real quick a couple bubble teams. Clark Montessori down there in Cincinnati, very good. West Liberty Salem, very good. Don't be surprised to see them creep into my top 5 here before the end of the year.
Well, like you said, Craig, you never know when these soccer kids, they love to run at Troy. We've seen it happen before. It'll probably happen again this year. And to recap the girls' teams, Craig, every year in and year out, when these teams show up on the Troy Regional, Craig, we've done it for years and years and years. We can pretty much tell you who the top 4 are going to be. Sometimes that 4 or 5 is a little bubble team there, kind of tough to pick, but we're usually going to hit 3 of the 4 for sure. This year, Craig, we got the Covington girls right now sitting at number 1 in our region. They're led, of course, by Anna Dunn, very good runner over there for the Buccaneers. Number 2 team, Craig, are Russia Raiders. They've been solid all year, Craig, led by Anna Fischinger and Megan Frazier. You talked about the splits before, the 1 through 5 split. They've got a pretty good, pretty low split there. Makes them a very successful team. Craig, the 3rd best team we got in the region right now, the West Liberty Salem Tigers. Craig, they're coached by longtime coach Ann Bogle over there. She's got her kids running faster and faster all the time. And then that 4th, 5th spot, Craig, kind of a tweener right there, but we're going to give the edge to the Fort Laramie Redskins. Very young team, Craig, but they've improved. And, I think they could slide in and grab that 4th spot and join their boys team come the first week of November at Hebron.
Yeah, and then number 5 you got there, of course, is Miami East. Miami East is a team that I thought was in our top 5 here at the start of the season. They've kind of slipped a little bit, and I think the battle between 1 and 2 is going to be very interesting. Covington and Russia, as you mentioned, Anna Dunn, actually been running every other week or every other race to start out the season, kind of nursing a little bit of an injury. I think she's feeling good. Just want to be a little overly cautious there. And like you said, Rushia's got a real tight group. Not a girl that's ever going to win a race over there, I don't think, a big race, but as you mentioned, a good group. TK actually talked about them at the beginning of the season being a very good team. And then that 3-4 battle, West Liberty and Fort Laramie, 2 teams I didn't really have on my radar at the start of the season. Of kind of they're young. West Liberty's got a Bolesky and Adams, top 2 runners that are running the 19s right now, very good. And Fort Laramie, super young right now, and they're starting to develop into a decent team. So good picks there for our top 5. All right, Ken, and that's going to do it for our cross-country talk. Do want to go back to the sound room. We visited those guys just a few minutes ago. But, guys, I know we got some other stuff to talk about, including golf. And we talked about postseason golf last week. I know we had a district final, I believe, on Wednesday and one coming up on Thursday.
Yeah, we did, Craig. Today, the girls D2 played golf. And some of the local notes, Versailles, who we've been watching all year and been playing very well, talked to them a little bit early in some of our shows. Versailles did win as a team, and they are moving on to the state. I believe that's 2 in a row. Last year they also went to state. They are led by Lauren Heitkamp with an 86 today. A couple, I think 3 girls in the 90s, so a real solid team there. Also coming out of that D2 was Carol and Chaminade Julianne. The other team we're watching there, of course, is our Shelby County League Fort Laramie Redskins. Unfortunately for the Redskins, not a good year down there. They came up 5th as a team, and unfortunately for one of our favorites, Emily Knopf, she did not make it even as an individual. Shot an 80 today and missed it by 3 spots, so she's kind of gone every other year. Freshman and junior year went, sophomore, and unfortunately for her as a senior, not able to make it back to state, so I'm sure she's a little disappointed, but I can't believe she's not going to go on and do great things at a college level the way she's been playing golf. Then we look at the boys.
Hey, excuse me, TK, can you bump your sound up just a little bit there? We can barely hear you in here. So.
All right. Okay, how's that? There we go. A little bit better there on the monitor. So again, going on to the boys, D3 will be playing tomorrow down at Beaver Creek Golf Club. 3 teams locally we're looking at, Fort Laramie and Fairlawn out of Shelby County League. Fort Laramie, of course, split the league with Anna at 11-1. Fairlawn had a really good year this year at 8-4. And then Lehman also going to be down there. They all start off early in the morning, 9 o'clock for Fairlawn, 9:20 for Lehman, and then 10 o'clock for Laramie. So if you're a big golf fan, it's going to be 80 degrees and sunny tomorrow. Head down to Beaver Creek Golf Club, and you'll get to see a lot of really nice golf and a nice golf course down there.
All right, good stuff there, TK. And Heavy D, last week we talked some Thursday night lights. We had Sydney and Piqua playing last Thursday night. I don't know if Ken and I kind of jinxed him here talking to Coach Dungus over there. They Sydney ended up getting beat after our interview with him. But we've got another Thursday night game coming up this week, don't we?
We sure do. We got a couple teams lacing it up Thursday night. We got Miami East 5-1, number 7 in Region 24. They're heading to the Covington Buccaneers to take them on. Covington's 5-0 this year. They're number 1 in Region 28. And that game is actually televised on Fox 45.2 and Time Warner 990 or 995. So check it out.
All right. We did watch some of that game last week, Craig, between Piqua and Sydney on Fox Time Warner, and it was good coverage. I was impressed. It was pretty neat to watch some high school football on a Thursday night. Tuned into that game for quite a while and enjoyed it.
Yeah, you're so used to seeing college games on Thursday nights, and now they got some high school games on Thursday nights.
That's
so pretty
right.
Cool stuff.
Yep.
And I also understand Heavy D Thursday is it's National Coaching Day.
Yeah, it's a big day for not only coaches at the professional level or in the college or the high school level, but it's for the everyday dad or mom that coaches. It's an all-around National Coaches Day. This was declared by President Nixon back in 1972. So October 6th, National Coaches Day. If you're a coach, thank you for your participation in making a difference in children's lives.
Well, Heavy, I know you coach yourself, and you started up the 6th grade girls tonight, didn't you?
I did. First day of practice, we had 18 girls show up and having a lot of fun, I'll tell you what.
All right. Good stuff.
Already basketball season. What do you think?
Yep, it's getting there.
All right, and one more thing to get to before we close the show tonight, and that is our poll question. So, Ken, why don't you read it for our viewers again?
Well, we talked a lot of volleyball early in the show, Craig, specifically with Anna head coach Kelly Zumberger. And our question tonight has to do is, who is your player of the year in the Shelby County Athletic League? Is it Cassie Meyer from Jackson Center, Kaylee Barhorse from Fort Loramie, Audrey Francis from Farallon, or Krista Garrett from Anna? We'll go back to the telemetrics room and see what our listeners had to say.
All right, our listeners tonight say 50% voting for Cassie Meyer, and then a 25-25 split between Audrey and Krista. So everybody's looking at the Jackson Center Taggers and their star, Cassie Meyer.
Well, those are all 4 good choices there, Craig, and Cassie is a great player, as well as the other 3 are, and but our voters out there are saying Jackson Center.
Good stuff. Good stuff. That's going to wrap it up for us tonight. I do want to say special thanks to our guests, Coach Zumberger, for joining us on the show, as well as the Russia cross country team, Alex Sager and Ethan Monier, for letting me join them for a workout on Tuesday night. Ken and I and the crew will all be back again next week, same time, same place. Until then, have a great rest of the week, and good night, everyone.
Hanging at the fish report. 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 For your latest news in high school sports, tune in to the fish report. Don't need no bed, don't need no pull when you tune in to the fish report. Hanging at the fish report.